as a top medtech company, how did you address this challenge? I mean, since I have grown up in that environment, frankly, on a lighter tone, I sometimes, I felt I was happy that I was not in your position in Philips anymore. But how did you? I mean, that's a lighter, in a lighter way, a lighter comment. But I think I have been hearing fantastic job done by the customer support, supply chain. How did you manage to overcome this unanticipated challenge, Rohit?
Thank you for your question, Anjanta, and hello to everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good evening. And yes, indeed, I mean, very, very challenging times, and some of the challenges, that Meena spoke about also, were applicable to our company. But in all these times, our first thought actually went to the patients, went to the customers. Okay, and when I say customers, then there are customers like Dr. Gavanchi or Dr. Lal, because these are the hospitals and diagnostic centers that have our machines, and our machines cannot be switched off. This is not like a car that you park in the garage and get. These have to be on, they have to be connected with the power supply, everything. If there's an MRI, then there's helium, and the helium might escape. You need to then take a truck of helium there and fill it up and everything. So I think that was our first thought, and we've actually had to go through several hoops to ensure that our service has ever been present. Whether it was people moving through with passes and all that, through different districts and states, obviously using surface transport. Sure. We've had our team actually travel in transportation trucks with our spare parts and everything. We've also had people sometimes stay over in hospitals because they were not able to do their job and return back home. Sure. So a lot of difficulty over there. Of course, supply chain, both domestic as well as international, in terms of getting spare parts, all that was quite difficult also. So I think as a health tech company, our primary motive was initially taken up, our entire bandwidth was taken up by just supporting our equipment. I don't think we were in a position to even think about developing business at that point in time, at least for the first 2-3 weeks. Once that started sort of, simmering down, I think we've had great support from our customers, both in hospitals and diagnostic centers, where we've been able to remotely connect with them and talk with them as well. Okay. How you do that is basically using things like Zoom. So in fact, even in a tier 2, tier 3 city in the eastern part of the country, like a Bihar, Jharkhand, in those kind of places, our team has actually gone and done a deal completely without even meeting the customers, right? So demos done online, all those types of things. So again, much like Meena said, we've noticed a lot of difficulty, but we see a little bit of sort of a release coming out here because of the lockdown. People are able to circulate very easily. But we still see that there's a far distance to go, and our future is absolutely tied to the future of the hospitals and the diagnostic centers. So we're in a position right now where we have to put all our effort come together, and I think partnership is the key word today. So it cannot be the government pointing fingers, or the hospitals pointing fingers, or us pointing fingers at anyone. It has to be everybody coming together and looking for a solution to this whole COVID problem.
Okay. I like that. I think collectivism, good collective collaborative teamwork is the name of the game, and that is going to be not only an accelerator of future progress but an essential necessity. Sorry, if you are saying something more, please go ahead.
No, that was what I wanted to end with, because that is absolutely crucial for us to come out of this together, because all of us are suffering. So we have to come together and solve this and move on.
Great. And a quick one, since I feel tempted to ask you, since you are the tech representative in this eminent panel. So do you think, like Dr. Lal said, artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality were sort of buzzwords so far, but now suddenly they are assuming an all-important role. What's your perspective on that?
I believe that our landscape is going to change absolutely towards that direction. I don't think there's a coming back, and that's a good thing. So remote connectivity. I just spoke about a transaction being done completely remotely, but treatment of patients, diagnosis. I mean, even today, there are patients who are getting, consultation done remotely. But even monitoring of patients, treatment of patients, using artificial intelligence and remote connectivity, I don't think there is any looking back. This is the new normal. The world has changed. Okay, so if anybody thinks it's back to the old normal, that's not going to happen. And I think we have to sort of
Metamorphose
into that type of an organization that can provide these services. We firmly believe that.
Sure. strong word, metamorphose, but that's exactly what I think we should do. Like the ancient wise philosopher Pluto said, that necessity and crisis are the mother of inventions. So I guess many such inventions will come from the tech world, from home care, from all the segments.